IQ gets you the job interview. EQ gets you the promotion, the friends, and the peace of mind. You can have a 160 IQ and still ruin relationships because you can't read a room. Or you can have average grades and be the person everyone trusts when things fall apart. That's emotional intelligence. It's not about being soft. It's about being sharp with feelings that yours and everyone else's. Here are 10 signs you've got more EQ than you think. If you relate to 5 or more of these, you've got high emotional intelligence. You read the room fast. You walk into dinner and sense the tension before anyone speaks. You notice when your joke landed flat. You adjust your tone when someone shuts down. This is social awareness. Reading facial expressions, tone, posture, and timing. High EQ people don't need a PowerPoint to know now isn't the time. They pick up data most people miss. It makes you easier to be around and harder to manipulate. You pause before you react. Someone cuts you off in traffic. A coworker throws you under the bus in a meeting. Your nervous system screams, "Fight back." But you've got a gap between trigger and response. You breathe. You notice the heat in your chest. Then you choose words instead of launching missiles. That pause is EQ in action. Low EQ reacts. High EQ responds. The pause saves relationships, jobs, and group chats. You own your part in conflicts. "I messed up" are 3 hard words. High EQ people say them. You can admit you snapped, you forgot, you assumed, without a 5-paragraph excuse. You don't turn every apology into "I'm sorry, but you." EQ means responsibility beats ego. Paradox. Owning your 30% of the problem makes you more respected, not less. People trust you because you don't pretend you're perfect. You set boundaries kindly. Saying no without guilt, without ghosting, without starting World War III. "I can't take that on right now" is a full sentence. High EQ means you respect your own limits and other people's feelings at the same time. You don't people please until you resent them. You don't burn bridges when you enforce a boundary. Kind plus clear is the EQ combo. Your energy stays protected and your relationships stay intact. You name feelings without drama. EQ starts with vocabulary. Low EQ says "I'm fine" when you mean "I'm hurt, embarrassed, and overstimulated." High EQ can tell the difference between disappointed, angry, and anxious. You don't need a poetry degree, you just need words like overwhelmed instead of mad. Why it matters. Naming the feeling reduces its power. Neuroscience calls it affect labeling. Your brain calms down once you label it accurately. You take feedback without collapsing. Criticism still stings. EQ doesn't make you numb. The difference is what happens next. Low EQ hears, "This report needs work," and translates it to, "You're incompetent and everyone hates you." High EQ separates the work from the worth. You feel the sting for 10 minutes, extract the useful 20%, and move on. You don't spiral for 3 days or get defensive for 3 hours. That resilience is gold in any career. You're curious about why people act weird. Instead of "they're toxic, block them," you ask, what need or fear is driving that? Someone lashes out? Maybe they're scared. Someone ghosts? Maybe they're overwhelmed. This isn't excusing bad behavior. It's replacing judgment with curiosity. That one shift kills 80% of your bitterness. High EQ people study behavior like a scientist, not a judge. You get more empathy and fewer enemies. You handle other people's emotions well. Friends vent to you because you do 3 things. Listen first, validate second, ask what they need third. You don't rush to fix. You don't one-up with your worst story. You don't judge. You just make space. That's emotional regulation by proxy. High EQ people are co-regulators. You help others feel less alone without absorbing their chaos. That's why you're the safe friend. You recover from setbacks faster. Bad review, breakup, rejection. You feel it. You don't fake positivity, but you don't build a house there either. High EQ means you grieve, you learn, you move. Low EQ gets stuck in rumination loops. Why me? What if? EQ lets you feel the emotion fully, then shift your attention to what you can control. Recovery time shrinks from months to weeks to days. Your mood isn't outsourced. Your baseline doesn't depend on 3 green dots, 20 likes, or whether your boss smiled today. You can be alone without being lonely. You can be criticized without crumbling. Your self-worth runs on internal data, not external applause. That's the EQ superpower. When your mood isn't rented from other people, you stop chasing validation and start making decisions from clarity. The real truth about EQ, it's not about being nice 24/7 or never getting angry. Emotionally intelligent people still get jealous, anxious, and petty. The difference is awareness plus management. You feel it, you name it. You choose what to do next instead of letting the feeling choose for you. EQ is a skill, not a personality type. Every sign above can be trained like a muscle. Start with just one. Name your feelings for 7 days straight. Watch what changes. So which of these 10 already lives in you? And which one are you working on next?